Around 4:30 a.m. on October 27, 1845, the body of Miss Mary Ann Bickford, also known as Maria Bickford, age 21, was found in a disputable boarding house on Cedar Lane and Beacon Hill neighborhood. She lay on her back in her nightgown, nearly decapitated, her neck wound measuring 6 inches long and 3 inches deep. The room was clogged with smoke, which someone had set fire to the end of the bed. A blood-stained razor was found at its foot. The victim's hair was singed and her skin charred. Part of one ear was split open and missing an earring. A man's vest and cane were splattered with blood. Albert Terrell, who had been seen with the victim earlier that night, was nowhere to be found. One witness spotted him bargaining with a livery stable keeper. He was in a scrap. He reportedly said he had to get away. He drove south to the house of some relatives in the town, where Weymouth, who hid from the police and gave money to flee the state. The following day, after gaining the money from his local relatives, he decided to head north into Canada. There he would hide longer in Montreal, announcing his further plans to sail to Liverpool. Prior to the murder of this young lady, there have been reports of her selling herself, going from brothel to brothel, house to house, door to door, person to person. As we know today, and off of the cases in the past, selling yourself into prostitution is a very dangerous and very sketchy situation. Yet during these times, this is the only way that certain families and people are able to make money. This young lady just found herself at the wrong place at the wrong time, doing the wrong things within her life. The murder today still goes on today with a wonder of how it should be held and what needs to be done. On September 29, 1845, friends and families came together for a potential lead of a guy that might be involved in the murder. His name is Albert Terrell. Later, police officers arrested him for adultery and suspicion of being involved in this murder, and he was later brought into jail for further holding. During the last hour of a 6-hour speech, focusing on the major issue of somnambulism, stressing that 12 witnesses had testified to the client's strange condition without challenge or disproof. Somnambulism explains the killing without a motive. He argues this for his case and realizes that this is the only way he can go. Here, then, he approaches the jury and begins to lower his voice. The courtroom hushes, and he begins to say, in old Rome, "It is always practiced to bestow a civic wreath on whom has saved a citizen's life, a wreath to which all laurels of Caesar were but weeds. Do your duty today, and you may earn that wreath." After his concluding statement, the jury deliberated for 2 hours and returned with a verdict of not guilty. Spectators and people of the courtroom leapt to their feet and applauded, but yet Albert Terrell began to sob, and this was his first display of emotion throughout the entire ordeal. After the hearing was done, he began to send a letter to his attorney, Rufus Choate, asking the lawyer to refund half his legal fees on the ground that it had been too easy to persuade the jury of his innocence. He began to thank the people, and he now lives the rest of his life understanding that he got away with a lot, even though he will go down in history as the sleepwalking killer.